Hello, good evening. Am I audible to you?
Hi, good evening.
Okay. So yeah, I think we are almost 5 minutes late. So let us start. I think Malavika, are you in the call?
Yes, I'm on the call.
Okay, so as per our agenda, first I will call Hanan to introduce the objective of Team 2, and Hanan, can you please provide a welcome speech for Team 2?
Hello.
I think you have some echo is coming in. Is it okay? All right. Yeah, can you try now?
Hello.
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yes. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Hello. Welcome you all to Team 2. So today is the third meetup of Team 2. What is Team 2? We all know communication and leadership are the key skills for job in the corporate world. The objective of Team 2 is to promote communication, collaboration, public speaking, social and leadership skills. The core group members are 17 to 30 years age group. Those who are doing their UG or PG, or those who finished their studies and started working. Due to interest from younger students, we initiated below age group as Team 2 juniors. Why Team 2? Through Team 2, we are connecting younger generation. Team 2 is for collaboration. There are lots of experience within the group itself. If you want to get into higher studies or job, people within the community can help each other. Team 2 is for communication. We are planning 13 sessions with a planned approach and same time with fun and creative games and prizes. Team 2 is for leadership. We are interacting with young leaders as guest speakers to our session and provide a chance for discussing with them. So set aside an hour every weekend for self-development. Attendance to meetup is mandatory for active members. So please ensure your participation in all meetup and also please stay till end of the group meeting. Today we have a very energetic and passionate personality, Ms. Malavika, as our guest speaker. And we have two other speakers from our group who are ready to provide a very passionate speech. We also have Ms. Khadija and Ms. Monisha here to deliver their speeches. We'll have a 1-minute speech session as well for those who would like to start practicing the talk. Let me call Dia to introduce the guest speaker, Ms. Malavika. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Dia. Our first guest speaker is Ms. Malavika S. Menon. She is a third-year student of Computer Science and Engineering in Model Engineering College, Kochi. She possesses great leadership skills and smart coding skills. I'm going to list out some of her achievements. In the year 2020, Ms. Malavika was a delegate of Harvard University, one among 300 delegates selected internationally to attend the prestigious international conference organized by Harvard University for young leaders to discuss social, technological, and political issues concerning Asia. She is a good programmer and has won multiple awards in state-level hackathons, such as Major League Hacking Kochi, IEEE state-level code competition for girls, intercollegiate paper presentation competition, winner of Project Expo at NIT Calicut, winner of Technobot conducted by IEEE. She is a chairperson to IEEE Computer Society and takes active responsibilities and leadership to communicate with other branches across India. She organizes hackathons, workshops, and webinars, and she worked on setting up TED license for helping emerging speakers, TEDx MEC 2020. She was a selected participant of Navakerlam Yuva Kerala, an interaction with our Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala. She had done many software projects such as job portals, news portals, and telegram bots. തൊഴിൽ Jalakam is a notable job portal which came in newspapers. It was done for the government of Kerala for connecting skilled resources and institutions to potential employers. It also helps the district skill committee to analyze the supply-demand gap of various skills offered in the district. We are honored to have you here, Malavika. Over to you.
Hey, thank you, Diya, for that introduction. I'll just share my screen. Could you enable screen sharing? I can't. I don't have the permission to share my screen.
Yeah, can you try now?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Diya, for that introduction. So, I will be talking about my experience attending the conference at Howard University and sharing my experience on that 1 week trip in US. So before I start, just a quick introduction about who am I. I know Diya already gave, but this is just a bit from my perspective. I am doing my 3rd year in computer science and engineering at Government Model Engineering College here. I enjoy coding and I primarily work on front-end development. I also write occasionally, and I was fortunate enough to be selected as one among the 300 people to attend the Howard College Conference held at Howard University in February 2020 last year. So I will move on to my experience attending the conference. So first thing about what is this conference that I attended? So the conference I attended was called the Howard College Conference. It was organized by this group of students at Howard University called the Howard Project for Asian and International Relations. So the main aim of this conference is to bring together young leaders from all over the world and to discuss about some of the most crucial technological, economical, and political issues pertaining to Asia and its relations with the neighboring countries. And so there are 2 conferences that are held every year. One is held at Howard University and one is held at an Asian country. So I applied for the conference that was held at Howard University, and only 300 people are selected from the list of applicants. So I will speak about the selection procedure that I had to follow. So there were 3 rounds actually. The first round was where you had to fill up your basic information, submit your resume, and choose your track of preference. There were different tracks that you could choose for the conference, and I chose the social policy and justice track. And once you choose the track, then you have to write an essay pertaining to one of the major developments or major issues of that particular track, and you submit it. So once I submitted this essay and my resume, after around 1 or 2 weeks, I got a mail informing me that to schedule an interview for the further screening. And the interview was also held by one of the organizers of the conference, who was a student at Howard University. And we spoke about my application questions, the answers that I sent for the application, and the projects that I'd mentioned in my resume, and mostly about why I want to HPAir and why it is important to me. And once this was done, I got a mail saying that I was selected to attend the conference at Harvard University. And yeah, so that was about the selection procedure. And now about the conference proceedings. So this is a 4-day conference. This year it is being held virtually. So if any of you want to apply for it, it's a great opportunity, even if it is being held online virtually. I have linked the site here if you want to visit it and apply to it anytime. So now about my experience there. So this was a 4-day conference. And so the first day was mostly just the opening ceremony. And this was held at a hotel, and it was mostly about introducing the theme and meeting several people from around the world. And that was a really great experience. Then this was followed by multiple panel discussion sessions. And since I had opted for the social policy and justice track, some of the panel discussions we had were, one was on the topic of immigration and how in US the immigration laws are quite controversial, especially with the building of the wall. And so we had an eminent panel, one of whom was a refugee from Myanmar and who's an international lawyer. Then we had immigration lawyers, professors at Harvard University joining in for the panel. And it was a very open forum where we were free to engage in discussions and ask questions to the panelists, as well as take part in the discussion. And this was the first panel discussion. Then we also had another panel discussion on income inequalities and labor laws. And this was, the panel consisted of the president of the International Labour Organization and professors from New York University. And this was also a similar panel where we were free to engage in discussions with the panelists. And then finally, we had this case study based competition. So basically what it was that they assign a particular case study to you. For us, it was the Sahel refugee crisis, and they assign a group also. So in the picture that you see in the middle, this was the group of us who attend. This was the group who they had assigned for me. And so we had to we had to do a presentation on one of the ways that we thought we could tackle the Sahel refugee crisis. And we were able to present it to the director of the UN Human Rights Commission at New York. And yeah, so that was basically the experience at the conference. These were the official sessions. And this dance picture that is here, that was basically part of an international night. So international night was supposed to be a fun night where people from all the delegates from all over the world showed some cultural dance. We had dances from Philippines, people from India singing Bollywood songs, students at Harvard University performing hip hop. And it was a night to engage in discussions about culture and talent and watch amazing performances. And that is the photo on the right. And yeah, so this was basically the experience of the conference. And this is a photo of me at the John Howard statue. This is a primary location at Harvard University. John Howard is believed to be the person who started Harvard. And so now coming to why I think this conference helped and why this conference mattered to me. So what this conference enabled me to do was it gave a unique perspective. When we meet with people from all over the world and people who have different levels of ambition, people who are pursuing different courses, different jobs, when you meet with all of them, your horizon expands widely and you can understand different perspectives, engage in different kinds of conversations, and your mindset also opens up drastically. And this can also be a chance for you to explore the various educational options at Harvard. I was able to attend the undergraduate admission tour at Harvard and the graduate admission tour, which tells more information about the admission section. And I was also fortunate enough to attend a class at Harvard Business School. And this was, this is a free program. If you're in US, this is something you should definitely try it out, because the kind of atmosphere of learning at the Harvard Business School is strikingly different from the kind of education that we have here, in the sense that it is mostly the students that are active participants of the class, and the teacher just provokes discussions, and that is how the learning takes place. So in a way, this gives you a unique perspective that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And this is one of the reasons that I think going for such a conference or going for an international conference is important, apart from all the direct benefits that the conference offers, which is engaging with the speakers, the eminent panel, people from all over the world, delegates who are passionate about different subjects. And yeah, so that is it. And if you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Malavika. Actually, it was a wonderful speech. And
Thank you.
yeah, anybody has any questions to Malavika, please ask. Okay. And actually, I didn't know that you are a dancer. That is not there in your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. So you did the Bharatanatyam, right?
Yeah, I did a Bharatanatyam to a Western song actually, so that they can relate better to it.
Okay. So the presentation, the other people, they are also in the same topic, or are they different topics? Same topic.
Same.
Topic, whatever the topic you were presenting, right?
Yeah, so they were part of my group, and we were assigned this particular topic for the case study presentation. So yeah, they were in the same group.
Okay. So anybody else? Any questions to Malavika? Yes.
Hi, Malavika. I'm Fasila.
Hi, hello, Fasla.
Hi. So I just wanted to know about the expenses and everything. Like, you had to take care of it, or your college, or
Yeah, so the expenses, there are actually two options. The first option is a scholarship. So the scholarship is basically need-based. You have to send in your income tax certificates or your parents' income tax certificates, and based on your income, they would decide whether you're eligible for the scholarship or not. If you're eligible for the scholarship, then they will take care of your travel expenses, your accommodation expenses, and so on. But I wasn't eligible for the scholarship. So then the next thing was I did a crowdfunding campaign actually, where I started a campaign to help fund for my trip to the US, and several of my alumni from college contributed to it, and my college also gave a good sum of money for this, for me to attend it. And so overall, yeah, it was manageable like that. But there's always the option of a scholarship.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah, Malavika, this is Monisha.
Yeah, hello, Manish.
Yeah, so my question is, so was this a certificate-based conference, or just a conference for enhancing the knowledge for which you had applied?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
My question is that was this conference a certificate-based conference, or the conference for which you had applied from your side? So it was a training-based one.
It was not exactly for training. It was more of a delegation and discussion based event. They provide you with a certificate, but it was something I applied on my own.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I think she was selected based on one of her essay, right? One of
Yeah. Oh, if you were asking about the selection procedure, actually you had to apply for it. There you had to submit your resume and you had to answer an essay-based question. And then once you're selected from that round, you had an interview. And after the interview is when you're finally admitted for the conference.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Khadija.
Hi.
I see that Harvard experience has brought a very good impact on you. After this experience, do you see any change within yourself, or have you improved, or have you tried improving, something like that?
I think I'm not very sure about if there is a very measurable change, but I would say it has impacted the way I see my ambitions a lot. Like it has expanded the way I see things and the way I think I can achieve things a lot. But I don't know if I can point to a very measurable change.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. If
Hi,
not,
Malvika, it's Fasila again.
Hey, Fasla.
yes, please.
Hi. So, what do you think? Like, do you think the education system here in India should be improved, or what do you think should be incorporated in the education system here in India? Like after visiting there.
Yeah, so I visited a Harvard Business School, so which is mostly for master's program for an MBA program. And I am told that the premier institutions here, like IIMs, also follow that sort of a case study based or student discussion based model. So I think in India, a lot of the premier institutions for MBA follows that model, but yeah, definitely. A lot of the institutions in the US are premier institutions in the world for their respective fields of study. So maybe we could shift more from theoretical approach to more practical based approach as well.
Definitely, yeah. So thanks.
Hey, Malavika, this is Vijash.
Hey.
So since you mentioned about that, right? So which one do you prefer, like, to pursue your masters, maybe in US or in India?
Of course.
I think it is. I mean, I'm looking to do my masters in US, but
Okay.
but the expenses are a major factor. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I think that should be one of your agenda, since you have already tasted uh, the whole culture here, right? So I think
Yeah.
Harvard. I mean, I've been going through. I know I'm not. I just woke up, so I'm not in a good. But I was going through your presentation, and it felt really good. For youngsters, and these are something which we couldn't do and when we were in college, so I think it's really a great achievement. I know you might be thinking that this is you're not seeing anything noticeable right now in your after you did it, but trust me, like, you go to any companies when you are when you apply for, let's say, if you want to work after you complete your bachelor's, or if you want to do a master's, this is one of the things which stands out. The that see, that's one thing which will be a change, a noticeable change for what you have done already. So yeah, just be proud of it. Don't think that you haven't got any like noticeable change you have, right? So because the thing that you're talking to us and presenting it, that's the change. So you're already in that path. So I would always give you best of luck, and yeah, I mean, pursue your ambitions if you want to come here. um I always recommend people, I always ask people to start pursuing masters or bachelors even in other countries, so that we can expand our horizon, right? So that's one of the good things. So yeah, I think so. What do you prefer? You going through the management role, or do you still want to go in technical? So what is your preference?
So I saw that a few universities in US actually offer joint programs like dual degree in both MS and MBA, which is sort of like which is sort of aimed for managerial roles in technical companies. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why I was majorly considering US, because of this dual degree option.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Best of luck for you, Malavika.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Malavika. So
Thank you.
I think it was a great time for us, and the session was so wonderful, right? So we got a lot of new experience from you, basically, and the team can utilize it. Okay, and also we hope, I think you are already part of a TED Talk forum in your college. So eventually you can get some more, speakers, maybe some Saturdays, right? Some motivational speakers from your group. So we are so much thankful to you for accepting our invitation and spending time with us. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. So over to Dia. Can you please invite the next speaker? And then one more thing, I just wanted to tell you, this Zoom has a inherent, 40 minutes stop time. So in case if it is disconnecting, please rejoin the same link. Okay. I just wanted to tell you in advance. So it might disconnect in another 5 minutes or so. So maybe you can rejoin the same link again later when it disconnects. Yeah, over to you, Dia. Thank you.
So our next speaker is Khadija. She is going to 9th standard this year. She is from Ajman and is a member of Team 2 Junior. She is so passionate and creative. And within days, she prepared an icebreaker speech and came up to deliver the speech in her first meetup itself. Over to you, Khadija.
Hi, I'm Khadija. Thank you for having me. In a hustle mall, a young girl was walking with her family blissfully because the view she was seeing there was like a present to her eyes. She, with her mom, went to the toilet. She stood outside waiting for her mom to return. But something unique caught her eye. She walked to its direction. But unknowingly, she was in a sea of nameless faces. She decided to gather all her courage and asked the stranger to help her. Seeing her pathetic face, the stranger helped her. She knew her parents' phone number as she was a very intelligent little girl. At the spur of the moment, her parents got a call and they found the young girl. The young girl ran to her parents' embrace and thanked the stranger. And all along the way, like how other parents do, she was given countless lectures. The characters in this story are me, my mom, and my dad. Speaking of family, my dad is an operations manager who is based on medical field, and my mom is a lab technician. And I want to correct there, we live in Al Ain. So if I was to talk about my family, let me introduce them to you again. I have a small family. My family consisting of my 4 members: my mom, my dad, and my little brother who is 5 years younger than me. If I was to speak about them, my words are indeed unfathomable. They are the ones that made me what I am now, walking with me in my most unfavorable of times, and they are the ones that pushes me. They encourages me to do my best. As I said before, my words are eternal, and I like keep on speaking. They give me with so much happiness and joy, and I am most grateful to God Almighty for the amazing family he blessed me with. Just like my real family comes my family of friends. Oh, my friends in this pandemic period, I really do miss them very much. I'm a very sociable person and I do have lots of friends, and I try my best to keep them very close to my heart. But for me, best friends, I mean, best friends, they are very limited and they are more than enough to illuminate my life. They give me such crazy experiences and indelible memories. They unknowingly itself add lots of colors to my life. What thinking about them itself leaves my head lightheaded with joy. They are like what you say, they are like birds of a feather flock together. All these friends I got were mainly from my school. My school, that strong and innovative building that paves successful ways to young, enlightened minds. My school has a very flexible and accommodating atmosphere. From KG1 to grade 4,